Next Green Line events, you'll hear more about that in a little bit, so I won't go in great detail, but I would like to note that last night, and Board Member Van Beveren was there, we did have an event, a sponsored event, that highlighted the DBE participation, the disadvantaged business, minority-owned and women-owned emerging businesses who have really been able to participate on that project. These are mainly contractors, but what's really been exciting is to be able to see how we have not only had watched as people marched through, first participated in very small contracts back on the interstate project, but have now been able to build their businesses, have more employees, and really become a part of an active business community, particularly in these tough economic times. Just to give you a sense of the statistics, back on interstate, this is the one that opened in May of 2004, we had 71 DBE firms that participated, and they garnered $36 million worth of contracts. This project, the Green Line, we have 110, so about almost half again as many DBE firms, and garnered about $62 million worth of contracts, nearly double the amount of contract dollars. So it's just it's nice to be able to see that all parts of our community are able to participate in the construction of our projects, and it really it did underscore that. Next, we will go through some of Carolyn and Steve, some of the opening events. All of you have received invitations for it. Be aware that the Federal Transit Administration Administrator, Peter Rogoff, is coming out and will be here for the event celebrating the opening of the Green Line. We're very, very pleased with that. Hope all of you can be a part of those events. And again, obviously we're very excited. Here's another project on time and on budget for the light rail system, and will add, I think, greatly. The piece by Dylan on Sunday in the Oregonian, I think, really highlights the piece that we've, I think, all known, and that is that each addition isn't just a simple addition, it's a multiplier to the whole of the system, and that is something that I think that is very exciting. Lastly, I might note that, and I see some of you actually have them there at your table, but that is that Steve Clark from the community newspapers wanted to be able to put together a special focus on the opening of the Green Line and produce that insert that has a number of articles throughout. But what I think is maybe most interesting about it is they started off with the idea that they would have between 32 and at maximum 40 pages for this insert. But because of the overwhelming interest of advertisers who wanted to be able to get their message out during the time of the opening, they had to expand it to 80 pages. And I think in this tough economic time, to be able to see that advertisers see that their association with, or companies, their association with light rail is a very positive statement. I think that just underscores the value we see in the opening of this line. So we would, at your pleasure, turn to both, what I ask is both Steve and Carolyn to be able to present, and what I'm going to do is going to ask Steve to be able to kind of outline just kind of the practical elements, the operational side of the opening, kind of where we are, what's kind of going on, and then for Carolyn to be able to share with you really the events that are going to be a part of this and how we're really highlighting where we are. So why don't you both come on up and...
Thank you. Good morning. For once, the operating staff has the easy part of this. We just provide the service that we've been practicing for the last week and a half to provide. As you know, Saturday is the opening day. We've got 3 rides set, starting roughly 11:30 for the day. We are going to, as we usually do with Rose Quarter and big events, what we call stand up, our command center, the incident command center at Drew Beach. So we have operations staff at the ready monitoring loading and crowd conditions as it relates to service out there. We typically run on a Saturday 41 two-car trains. We're going to bring out 45 two-car trains for the event on Saturday, and we think that's going to be sufficient. We're hoping that we don't need all of them. We will have them in strategic locations to be able to interface with the system as ridership demands. We've got staff that's going to be located throughout the Green Line and also strategic areas downtown in case of an operational issue. And quite frankly, we are excited as anybody here about being able to start running the service, and Saturday is that day for us. So as I said, for us, it's a relatively easy day. The difficult stuff is with Carol's group.